Promos for this new show have been getting a lot of run during the NBA games on ABC lately. It's ABC's The Family. It premieres this Thursday at 9 Eastern before settling into its regular time slot on Sundays beginning this Sunday. And one of the stars of the show is somebody I've been a fan of for quite some time for his work back on Friday Night Lights back in the day. Zach Gilford here on The Rich Eisen Show. Good to see you, brother.
Good to see you as well.
How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Okay, so you and I met when you came on the NFL Network. Probably you were promoting Friday Night Lights and you were with Matt Saracen back then, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you came on, you picked games, and you got, when we had celebrities try and pick just from that week's games.
I thought it was like an actual competition, but apparently it was just for bragging rights.
Well, no, you know what? I think we used to give out...
like a T-shirt or something?
No, it was a wooden football, actually, that we called the Woody. Oh. We gave it out to whoever got 10 perfect ones correct.
Oh, okay, well, it wasn't perfect.
And you got 9 out of 10, correct?
Something like that. I just know I tied for the best.
And you tied with?
Larry David.
Larry David.
These are the things that I hold on to in my career. I'm like, these are my claims to
Look,
fame.
if I tied Larry David in anything,
Exactly.
I would hold on to that, too. I'd hold on to that, too. How many people think that you played football because of your role on Friday Night Lights? How many people think that?
A lot.
Yeah?
A lot. I can play. I mean, I'm not a state champion quarterback.
Right.
But I can pretend to be one.
Well, Matt Saracen, you know, had a lot going on in his life, too.
He did.
Back then.
He did. And that was the beauty of that character, was he wasn't your typical, Tom Brady type quarterback.
And that show and that cast, I mean, the things that you and everybody else have since gone on to well.
We've been lucky. And, it was just like a good group of people, too. We all got along, which is nice. Because when you get stuck somewhere for several years with people, sometimes it doesn't go that way.
Right. And Michael B. Jordan was in there. And
saw him at the Oscars the other night.
Yeah.
Well, on TV. I wasn't there.
No, I
saw him.
Saw him up there
I saw him.
presenting.
I was like, good for you, man. Good for you.
Get all the way from East Dillon up there to present at the Oscars. I've got Zach Gilford here on the Rich Eisen Show. Okay, so you've heard all of this conversation about the Bulls and where you put the 90s Bulls in relation to the current Warriors.
It's not a question. I mean...
There is a question.
It's not a conversation. The Bulls are better. I mean, come on.
No,
Jordan, Pippen, Rodman...
Now, Shaq and Barkley have said they would destroy this current Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, I think we would.
And I'm of the mindset that Michael Jordan is the greatest I've ever seen at anything. And I'm talking about anything.
Yeah.
And I am including Tiger Woods in golf. I am including anybody who's ever grabbed a baseball bat that I've ever watched.
He refused to lose, And I watched that Oklahoma City game the other night and was, I'm sorry, but I'm rooting for them not to break our record.
Well,
so
I think you're going to go down. I think that's you're going to lose that one.
Steph's ankles. You never know.
No.
I'm not hoping for anything.
Wow, what are you advocating, Zach? I mean, good Lord.
I'm just saying.
I think you need to put that one to bed. Because right now, I say they're going to lose 2 more games. They're going to be 70. They're going to have 75.
How many games are left? Like 25?
There are 25 games left. 24. Right. 24 games left. 24. And I say they're going to win 22 of them.
Well, we'll see.
And all they need to do is just win 20 of them.
Take a couple from them.
Well, look, because the bottom line is this. Like I said, Jordan was... Because I'm a Knick fan from back in the day.
Right.
And Ewing was there at the very wrong time. Okay? He chose the very wrong time. And even when Jordan went to play baseball for your beloved White Sox...
Well, he lost to the Rockets.
I mean, even that's when Hakeem Olajuwon and Drexler got their opportunity.
Yeah, I don't feel bad for the Knicks during the 90s.
No, it was the wrong time.
Yeah.
But that said, I mean, the Warriors are one of the best. They're going to be up there as one of the best teams of all time.
They're pretty ridiculous. They're really good, but until the season's over, the season's not over. I feel like a lot of people want to dethrone them, so and they got to start cruising at some point. Just waiting for the playoffs.
I just don't know. I mean, when Draymond Green is yelling at the team in the locker room because they're down at halftime of a game that they have 52 wins anyway, that struck to me, Zach. It struck to me as a team that is really locked in.
They definitely are. I mean, they're fun to watch.
Yeah.
They're definitely really fun to watch. They're good. There's no denying it.
Right.
I just don't think they'll break our record.
What do you think of your current Bulls right now, though?
I love my current Bulls. I'm not... I wasn't a huge fan of the coaching change. Mm-hmm. But I'm still a huge Derrick Rose fan. He's still my favorite player. I believe in him.
Okay.
Jimmy Butler, I mean, that guy came from sleeping in his car being like last pick of the first round to now being an all-star. You know, we just got to figure some things out. We got to find that scrappiness that we've had the last few years.
And that might have been Tom Thibodeau, the coach.
Thibodeau and Noah. It hurt to lose Noah for the year.
Yeah, that was
kind
was
of the heart of the team.
That was a difficult one. They're 30-28 right now, the Chicago Bulls. I'm here with Zach Gilford. His new show, The Family, is debuting on Thursday night on ABC. We'll get to that in a second. Do you have an opinion on our question of the day about the strangest mascot you've ever come across at all?
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm very curious to look into this Rhode Island School of Design one.
Yeah, the Scrody,
Scrody the Nad or whatever.
Yeah.
Scrody the Nad.
Scrody the Nad.
Yeah.
And the two...
What are they driving at? I don't understand what you're
I'm not sure, but there might be some blue involved also.
You mean the certain portion of Scrody the Nad is blue?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's a rough go of it right
Yeah,
there.
his Chris Jones are blue.
Oh my gosh.
Take some veins!
That's terrible. Do you have a say on this whole thing?
I mean, personally, I've always been a little confused by the White Sox mascot. I mean, his name is Southpaw, which makes sense given we're the Southsiders.
Yes.
And, you know, Southpaw, lefty.
Is he an
But
actual lefty?
I don't know what he
or
is. He's
it?
a fuzzy green thing. I don't even know what he is.
So it's a green. So the White Sox
like, I would've
mascot
just
is a green monster,
Yes, I would have just personified a sock. Like, that would have made more sense.
just like a human
Just
sock,
like a big sock
Like a big-
with a mouth.
or how
like a
about-
sock puppet.
How about this? No mascot at all.
Or no, well, you are creeped out by mascots.
I don't know.
hear.
I just don't know. I mean, just at this point in time, just sort of like tapping out of the mascot business.
Well, it's for the kids.
it is.
It's for the kids. I don't go to the games for the mascot, but I
Yeah,
think the kids enjoy it.
So why are you a White Sox fan? You're from Evanston. Why did you choose the South Side
I was
instead
just
of?
raised that way. I think I come from a family of contrarians.
Okay, I like it.
And at one point, I think it was my great-grandfather said, everybody roots for the Cubs. I'm rooting for the White Sox. Raised his son that way, raised my father that way.
So
and
who
I
was
raised that way.
your guy? Was it Harold Baines growing up?
Frank Thomas.
Frank Thomas, the big.
And that's the thing. That's the thing that's the one knock I have on Chicago sports in the past decade or so is I feel like we don't really send our stars off in the best fashion. I'm upset about the way we released Matt Forte. I don't like what we did to Urlacher or Briggs or Peanut Tillman, Frank Thomas. You know, Scottie Pippen. Luckily, we brought him back, and now he's an ambassador to the team. But at first, I was pretty bummed.
So
about it.
based on all this, they're going to end up retiring Cutler's number, right?
No, they don't retire numbers anymore.
They don't retire numbers.
The Bears
anymore.
stopped retiring
Did
numbers.
you see Urlacher has hair now? Zach,
Yeah.
Did you see that?
It's pretty nuts.
What's up with that?
You know, I mean, he's retired. If he wants to grow his hair out or get it implanted,
Or get it bolted in there?
whatever you gotta do, man. He seems happy.
Well, you've got a healthy head of hair right there. So
Hopefully for a while longer.
hey, look, it is what it is with him for sure. I mean, that thing was really strange to me. Zach Gilford here on the Rich Eisen Show. Let's talk about the family, where you play the older brother of a family where the mom is
The mom is the mayor of somewhere in Maine.
somewhere in
Red
Maine.
Pines, I think
Okay,
it's called.
sure.
It's fictitious.
Joan Allen, who's
Joan Allen, who's
fantastic.
an amazing actress.
She's an all-timer.
Yeah, an original Steppenwolf, Chicago theater.
Yeah.
And then basically, kid goes missing. We think he gets killed. 10 years later, he shows up. I'm a little skeptical if it's actually him or not. We're curious where he's been, who's kept him in a hole for 10 years. So a lot of mystery, a lot of deceit. It's fun.
And you play somebody who's.
I'm kind of the black sheep drunk of the family, which was, fun to just get drunk at work every day.
Yeah, how about that?
It's great. Because I'm not a good actor. I can't pretend. I just have to do things.
You've got to do the actual
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Sure.
So,
Right.
but it's a cool show, and we don't draw things out. We keep them going. So at the beginning, you're like, is this kid him? Is he not? You kind of find out, and then there's some other twists that happen.
And then you move forward from there.
Yeah.
And it debuts Thursday, then it settles into its usual Sunday night time slot. You, Allison Pill, Joan Allen, and a great cast. Thank you for coming on the show.
Oh, it was my pleasure.
Come back. We'll talk some more. When the Cubs are. You do realize the Cubs are.
That's what I heard. I heard
They're the favorites
that's what I heard. I don't believe it.
to win the World Series.
Well, it's not gonna happen.
Is it true you once refused to throw out a first pitch for the Cubs?
I did. My grandfather would have disowned me.
So the Cubs knock on your door and say, "Would you like to throw out a first pitch?"
Figuratively, I
What,
think
the-
they reached out to someone to feel it out, and they're like, "Hey, we'd like to
This
invite
is when you were
Zach
on
to."
Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I said, "I'm sorry, I can't do that."
You know, Marshall Faulk, who's a big St. Louis Ram, and a Cardinal fan, had an opportunity to throw out a pitch for the Cubs with Kurt Warner and Michael Irvin at the draft last year, and he said no.
You know? I mean,
He
you
said
got to be
no.
a real fan.
He said no, that he could not go back to St. Louis and look people in the face, he said. So what they did is, in retaliation, they took half the Cardinals team and put them on the Cubs roster. Now they're going to try and win a World Series with them all. You never know. Hey, Zach, thanks for coming on the show.
It's my
Good to see you,
pleasure.
bud. That's
Good
Zach
to see you,
Gilford.
too.
Go watch the Family on ABC this Thursday night, and then set the DVR on Sunday as well to watch The Family. We're back with more here on The Rich Eisen Show. 60 ticks of the clock. A special This Day in History for me and for the world of hockey. And Chris Law will get a baby update. That's coming up next in a minute.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.